Hello and welcome to the Raptors Reaction Podcast. I'm your host, William Liu. This is presented by Betway. For all your sports betting activities, hit the QR code that you see on the screen or follow the link you see in the description below. Raptors win tonight 120-109 in Brooklyn. Quite frankly, not a particularly interesting game from the perspective of either team because, look, it's Sunday afternoon in Brooklyn. Both teams had the night off, the night of in New York City the night before. It's an early start and a lot of key players resting. Scotty Barnes missed another game here, was on the sideline due to the injured hand. And, he was in a very, very suave suit, I must add. Just a pink suit, flamingo, head to toe, no shirt underneath with some, I don't even know what you call those. I guess loafers, but like inch-high loafers. It was certainly quite the look. Obviously, IQ and Jakob, it's their turn to sit. And on the Brooklyn Nets side, I don't even really keep track of how and why they're listing some of these players as out, but clearly every single Brooklyn Nets player that you're familiar with was out. I mean, the starting lineup, actually the whole lineup for Brooklyn, before we even get into this, was just cracking me up. Trendon Watford, shouts to Trendon Watford. Think he got the Gerald Henderson award last time. Drew Timme, you know it's NCAA tournament time when you see Drew Timme is in the game. Zaire Williams, Reese Beekman, a lot of E's in a name. That's 4 E's in Reese Beekman. Keon Johnson, and then coming off the bench, Dariq Whitehead, Tossin Evubuanman. Okay. Maxwell Lewis, Tyson Etienne as well. Sorry to Tosan. I just really struggled when I saw the last name for a second. But yeah, that was the lineup that was out there for Brooklyn. One of my other things for Brooklyn, their leading scorer tonight was 14 points. Just an incredibly even matchup. 13, 13, 11, 14, 13, 13, 12, 13 were the scorers. Oh, sorry, those are the scorers from Brooklyn's side. It was kind of an incredible game from that perspective because that was what the Nets were throwing out there. I mean, look, the Raptors weren't throwing out that much more either. Part of the reason some of these players for the Raptors is because we're Raptor fans. But like aside from RJ Barrett and Ochai Agbaji and the rookies, like obviously we're throwing a lot of RG League guys out there too. But at the same time, I thought that the Raptors were clearly the better team here. I thought the ball pressure was really good. They forced Brooklyn into a ton of turnovers. 23 turnovers for Brooklyn. That was largely the reason why the Raptors won this game, because they were able to turn the ball over and go the other way and just dunk over and over against the Brooklyn Nets. One thing the Raptors have done really well lately, in particular, is the ball pressure on just anybody bringing the ball up past half. Like the Raptors every game now forced an 8-second violation. Now, granted, some of these teams are not exactly the most tapped in. Like there's one play where Drew Timme was trying to bring the ball past half, and it's like, why is your center trying to break the press? But I mean, I don't know. I think still credit to the Raptors for their defensive effort. To me, the two guys I think that are really worth talking about today are the two rookies here. Jonathan Mogbo and Jamal Shead. Quite frankly, I would have talked more about Jacoby Walter too. He was on his way to having a really nice game. I'm not totally sure why he only played 18 minutes. I had to double check, but there was no injury update provided, at least by the Raptors PR staff. So I'm hoping that you're not going to see any sort of missed time from Jacoby, because he is on such a rhythm. He's on such a groove. I thought he was actually the Raptors' best player to start this game. He forced 2 turnovers right away. He had a block. He had a strip at half court, took it the full length of the floor, got fouled, going to the basket, knocked down threes calmly. He looked really nice. And then you just didn't see him for most of the rest of the game. So I'm not entirely sure why that is. But still, he had 2 other rookies out there really leading the way, and Jonathan Mogbo and Jamal Shead. Jamal, we talked about a ton. We'll circle back to him. Mogbo, I thought it was really, really one of his best games of the season. Certainly a more free-flowing type of game. But he finished with 17 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks on 8 of 9 shooting, including an and one for the free throw there for the 17 points. And I think what was notable about watching Mogbo's performance tonight was this is what it looks like when Mogbo plays small ball center. I think that, when you think about who the player was a year ago at this time when very few of us knew who Jonathan Mogbo was and he was playing in NCAA basketball. The reason he got himself drafted and the reason he was successful in college was because he played that small ball center type of game where, he was able to play on the roll. He was able to make decisions in the middle of the floor. He wasn't, he had spacers around him. And say what you want about the rest of the guys, but, Mogbo was the guy in the middle of the floor controlling, and there wasn't a lot of help defense from Brooklyn outside of moments when they played some zone and some press, whatever. Like it basically felt like kind of playing a college style game, actually, this one. But Mogbo really did succeed in that role, and I thought that you saw him return to that. Obviously, tonight, no Jakob Poeltl. Last game, for example, he started alongside of Jakob Poeltl, and the Raptors long-term, they've said this a couple of times, but long-term, their hope is to turn Jonathan Mogbo into a wing. That's why they've been working so hard with him on the three-point shot. They also see that, look, he's 6'6", 6'7". Long-term, is he going to be able to be a center, especially with the level of physicality that position demands? Probably not. So especially, if you're just thinking long term, he makes more sense because he's wing size to be able to, change his game to become a wing. But clearly, you see that the more experience and the more effectiveness that he has currently is as that small ball center, and you saw that tonight. I thought Mogbo did a really good job of finishing. That's probably been his biggest weakness, is on the offensive end. He doesn't kind of fully have a role. It's a kind of because he's a tweener, you know what I mean? Sometimes he's just on the perimeter and shooting threes, and that's largely experimental. Sometimes he knocks them down, sometimes he doesn't, but realistically it doesn't change how the defense is going to affect them, and it's not how he's going to win the game or break the game for the Raptors with his current skill set as is. You also see Mogbo sometimes trying to finish around the basket, and recently he's been trying to dunk it a lot more. That's been a clear directive from the team to get him to be more physical and aggressive at the rim and just play with more force, because before he used to go up with a lot of those floaters. You didn't see a lot of floaters tonight, but you did see him go strong at the basket, and even if he wasn't dunking it, I thought he did a really good job of finishing with his left today. I feel like his last 4 buckets were all lefty finishes, including a dunk, by the way. So that was kind of interesting to see, because obviously he's a right-handed player, but you saw him going a lot to his left today, and using that left to finish. But ultimately, I think he played a really complete game. I think the defensive effort was there from him as well. He had probably the best defensive play of the game when he was guarding one-on-one, and he blocked one of the Nets players for pulling up from 3. That's a very, very athletic play, and you used to see that a lot more with the Raptors back when it was Vision 6'9", and you had Pascal, and you had OG Anunoby. Obviously Chris Boucher was like the king of blocking threes back when he used to play basketball for the Raptors. Nowadays, another DMP. But Mogbo, I thought, just played his role really, really well. And in a game that was rather chaotic and everything like that, I thought he actually, was able to thrive in that. And of course, granted, Brooklyn didn't have any 7-footers, any bigs really at all. And their bigs were like Drew Timme, who's not exactly known for his defense, more of an offensively skilled player, especially in college. But, I just thought Mogbo looked really comfortable. And for me, long term, is just a question of is he going to be a small ball center for you, or is he going to be able to develop enough perimeter skills to expand his game out to the wing? But ultimately, I thought he played a really good game, arguably his best game of the season. This is his first career double-double. Got the walk-off interview. All things were nice with Jonathan tonight. The other guy, obviously, was Jamal Shead, who continues to stand out night after night, just as a leader for the team. Tonight, he sets a new career high for himself with 12 assists, adding to his already impressive total. I think the one thing that really showcases his value in a game like this is the Raptors won by 11 points, right? Which, whatever, obviously, considering the lineup I just read to you with Brooklyn, I mean, you're probably going to win. But in this game where he played 29 minutes, the Raptors were plus 31 with Jamal Shead on the floor. That's incredible. In his 30 minutes, his 29 minutes, there were plus 31. That means in the 19 minutes that he wasn't on the floor, the Raptors got outscored by 20 plus. And it's I think Jamal, his ability to organize the offense, he had a couple turnovers early on. You can see him getting frustrated with himself. He's been really getting the turnovers down and under control, but he ran the offense really well. He set guys up for 3 in rhythm. In the moments where he needed to take it strong to the basket, he did. Tonight, he didn't really, shoot efficiently, 3 of 11 from the field, but felt like a lot of those were put back, actually, and him creating the initial drive to get to the basket and create an opportunity where the help defense rotates and the defense is scrambled, someone can get in for the putback. basically Kobe assists. I thought Jamal did a lot of that, and of course, like 12 assists, 3 steals for Jamal. Just was a good sign of how he ran the team. For a Raptors side that they had no other point guards. There was some RJ Barrett running the offense. RJ actually had a pretty sluggish night for himself. Outside of getting himself to the foul line 11 times. By the way, he also shot 5 out of 11 from the foul line, which is clearly not good. But it was basically just Jamal who can actually bring a sense of calm and a sense of organization to the offense. And that's probably why he was the highest plus minus in this game by far. Like, there wasn't even close in terms of any other player that took the court tonight. But, small things like there was a stretch where Brooklyn was getting some momentum. The Raptors actually came out strong in the third quarter. They established once again that they were the better team here. And then they kind of got lackadaisical. I felt like the Nets certainly turned up their defensive effort. They were turning the Raptors over. The Raptors had a string of bad possessions. And Brooklyn started to build momentum, and their bench was getting into it, and the game was swinging away from the Raptors. And again, like, whatever, like, we're talking about game 79 of the season where neither team's going to make the playoffs, and quite frankly, this is kind of a tank off between the two of them. So, like, who cares if the game swings? But I think as a competitor, I did like seeing Jamal just say, okay, everyone calm down. I see everybody's like, starting to lose it a little bit and playing a little too fast, and there's a lot of guys who are new to the team, and et cetera, et cetera. And Jamal just like took it upon himself to clear out, get the offense organized, and in this case make 2 good reads. One was they were playing a one-on-one with the player who was slower defending him. He took him off the bounce, went strong in the basket, finished a layup that got the Raptors to stop the bleeding and just control the tempo of the game and control the momentum of the game. And then on the ensuing play, Jamal did a good job of breaking down a defense, drawing 2, and then swinging it out to an open 3-point shooter. And I think it was either Cole Swider or Jamison Battle, I forgot, but 2 really good 3-point shooters who could have got a good look, and ultimately they missed it. But still, just a good chance of just like slowing things down, especially towards the end of the quarter. No need to rush, no need to sort of like play into, like, no need to make mistakes. And I thought this was kind of a mistake-free game from a Jamal, especially after the first couple of turnovers. Other than that, I mean, you continue to see more Cole Swider. The news is out that he got signed for the rest of the season. You might as well. I mean, again, like, who else are you going to get for the next week or so? Because that's all that's left in the season. Jamison Battle knocked down some threes. I like them taking it on, off the dribble. That's been directed by the team to sort of get more of your offense off the dribble. We know you can catch and shoot from the corners, especially. We know you can catch and shoot just in general from 3, but can you sort of put it on the deck? Can you make a couple of reads? Can you make a couple shots off movement as well? And you saw him tonight take it strong to the basket, a nice little Euro step reverse finish to end the first quarter. Orlando Robinson, I thought he used his size better tonight. That's probably my own thing is with him, is just like he hasn't really dominated the glass. And certainly that's something you would like to see out of your centers. But Orlando, 11 points, 6 offensive rebounds tonight, got a couple of putbacks, including a putback dunk. That was nice. AJ Lawson, 13 points off the bench, 22 minutes, continues to give you an aggressive style of play. Kind of that G League mentality of like, basically in the G League, it's like people are really reluctant in general to make the extra pass because everyone's just trying to get the call up and get these 10 days and get end of the season contracts or 2-way contracts or whatever. But everyone's just trying to get promoted. So it doesn't necessarily create the best environment for team basketball. And the one trope you hear all the time about the G Leaguers is like when they come up, they're shooting every single time. And I do get a little bit of that sense from AJ when I see him. But ultimately, he's able to make his shots. He's aggressive. I thought he also continues to play active defense. So I don't even mind that style of play. Like, it's not as meant to be a critique. I think it's just an observation that he's aggressive. And then Jared Rhoden, I like his size. I like his frame. He's almost like a mini Ochai out there in the sense that, like, he's a stronger guard. He's able to finish, near the basket because of his athleticism, because of his strength and his build. Not really able to knock down the 3 tonight, but in general, he's been okay from the 3-point line. So, he was solid. But, yeah, I mean, ultimately, towards the end of the game, you even saw, like, Jamal was on the bench. RJ was on the bench. Ochai was on the – oh, no, Ochai was on the floor, actually. But, even Orlando Robinson was on the bench. Like, I don't even know if you call it a tanking lineup or not. I mean, basically. But that's basically the Raptors' 4 stringers were on to close the game. So, another odd – decision in terms of just like in the grand scheme of how to manage games, but also at the same time, like, it's not odd because this is just kind of how the second half of the season has been. The Raptors have put out lineups that, it's either for experimentation or, losing purposes, whatever it is. But ultimately, yeah, you did not see the Raptors' best lineup on the floor towards the end of the game. And quite frankly, like, I don't care. Like, I actually don't care. Like, just do what you need to towards the end of the year. Nobody get hurt, and just try to finish the season strong here, because we really only have 1 week left in the year, and there's not that much left to go. Ultimately, I think that the bigger conversation, obviously, this weekend has been on the NCAA tournament. I've noticed a lot of, obviously, I mean, everyone watched, especially, I mean, I hope everyone watched the Final Four yesterday, because the first game was also really good. Florida overcoming Auburn. But obviously, everyone watched Duke's incredible collapse against Houston down the stretch. Huge credit to Houston, who, I guess we were kind of clearly cheering for a little bit too, because of the fact that, you got Jamal Shead, who has been such a likable character, and he was such a huge part for the Houston Cougars and their program. I mean, he is like a beloved son, having played there for, I believe, 3 seasons, and developing such a strong bond and connection to so many of those guys. And to see them fight and claw it out towards the end was truly something very special. But of course, people were also watching Duke just in general for their prospects, and we'll get a bit of that as well. But let's first bring in producer Jerome Chang here. What's going on, buddy?
How's it going, man? I was like, are you taking away one of my 6-packs by already starting to talk about it?
No, I was just setting it up.
We're just setting it up. I appreciate that.
Just drawing the double team and then kicking it.
There you go. I mean, let's just kick it off for the most recent game. Shout out UConn.
Yeah.
Shout out Paige Beckers.
Huge shout out to UConn.
Huge shout out. What a win. Did you get to second screen the experience a little bit?
Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. My head was everywhere tonight in terms of just like, I had 3 games going on at once. Obviously, the Raptors Nets took precedence, but obviously. I mean, it's my job. I got to watch Raptors Nets. It was by far the worst game of the 3. I was also keeping a close eye on Lakers versus OKC, because that's going to be a really interesting matchup potentially if they do meet up. Lakers, by the way, just hit every single shot. It kind of blew OKC out of the water. Actually, very, very impressive win on the road in OKC. Might be the first time all season OKC's lost back-to-back games, because they also lost to Houston recently. And then, of course, I was watching the women's final. And, sadly, I started tuning in roughly around halftime. I was like, I'll catch the second half, because again, I'm trying to like toggle between 3 different games. And
what's the point lead? It's already 20 at that point, or no?
I think they were already up 20 at that point. Right. And I was really expecting a closer game. I think UConn certainly has.
The first quarter was tight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope so, but like, ultimately, there wasn't the same type of drama. But it looked like UConn played their very best game of the season, and kind of to not everyone's surprised, because everyone knows how good UConn is, but like, South Carolina is great. And to see them come up that short in the final was still, I was expecting like a really close game. But congrats to the UConn program.
Congrats to them. Congrats to future Toronto Tempo, Sarah Strong, in her freshman year, just absolutely putting up numbers. Every time I've watched a Sarah Strong game, in just like the last 3 or 4 games, she just keeps on breaking different records and does absolutely everything on the court. I'm such a fan of hers. As Chelsea Late has once mentioned, Sarah Strong's truthers out here.
But I think Diana Taurasi actually recently called her, like, compared her game to Jokic, which is,
there was that comparison, and there was a lot of that.
Such a complimentary comparison from such a complimentary player. Like that is like the most flattering thing possible. But yeah, she had 24 and 15 in the final. I mean, just
24, 15, and 5. The only player to ever have a 20, 15, and 5 in an NCAA championship. I don't know if it's overall or just women's, but either way, to do that as a freshman, as many people have tweeted online, this is the worst she's going to be. Like, that's insane.
That is insane. Yeah. That is insane.
But no, really beautiful moments all around. Shout out Paige for, I think it was a slam shoot when she was in high school. She said in her senior year she would love to go out winning a championship and then hopefully be in the WNBA draft, maybe as a first pick, and that is exactly what is going to happen. So
that's incredible. I mean, I was so happy to see Gino Auriemma, the head coach, longtime head coach for UConn, legendary head coach for UConn. Like, so happy to see how much emotion poured out of him in the post-game interview with Holly Rowe on the court. it made me really emotional too. Just seeing like, I mean,
Yeah, he
he's
was
literally
choked up. Like it was just.
He's won 12 titles, man.
That's
like
incredible.
12 titles, but he said that this was the one that he felt the most emotionally strong and connected with. Obviously, everyone knows UConn as a dominant program, but they haven't won since 2016 or 2018, one of those 2 years. It's like it's been a really long time.
Not since Brianna Stewart, I believe, is what it was. Yeah.
Right. And then to see not only for them to like get the win after so long and get back to the mountaintop, but to see how much it meant when Paige came off the court with about like a minute and a half left, because like it was like a 30-point game, and she like hugged everybody coming off. But the super long hug between Paige and Gino was such a sweet moment. And then for Holly to ask like, what did you say to her? And Gino just said, I just told you I love you. That's it.
Yeah, and choked up while saying it. It was really beautiful.
Man, like I know I kind of like slagged NCAA sports, but this.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
This is for me like the sweetest part of it, and I just can't wait to see meaningful games again, especially featuring the Toronto Raptors, because goddamn.
All right, on to the next moment here. Apparently, last night was a leaked episode of White Lotus.
Okay.
Because Duke shit the bed.
Nice.
I couldn't show the other photo because that feels problematic to show on this, but famous meme from the series this season. I was out having drinks because I just assumed Duke was going to win, and then I got messages in the group chat saying that, well, just showing a screen recording of the timeline and basically everyone using that same photo or the other photo to indicate, and I was just like, Duke lost? And we talked about it. We texted it this morning before we met at the Tangerine layup event. But it was such an incredible, win for Houston, and all the credit to them. But I think there are so many things that happen there that is the excitement of college sports, but also why you tend to not watch college basketball. Because, I'll leave it to you to talk a bit about that.
Yeah, look, I'll do credit to Houston for fighting back to the way they did. It felt like they were fighting uphill the whole night. Duke was playing pretty well, but also not like well enough to sort of separate. They had the lead for like, I think at least 30, maybe 32 minutes of the 40-minute game. And at times it was double digits, which feels a lot more secure to have a double-digit lead in college than it does in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's like double-digit lead, someone hits 3 threes, it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You basically feel like you're in a 2-possession game. I think that, for me, it was just like the comedy of errors that took place down the stretch. Like the fact that they can't get the inbound in, the fact that they don't have an inbound play, the fact that they can't get it to their best free throw shooter, the fact that like there's just a lot of panicking. Like, towards the end of the game, it was the same thing at the end of the Florida-Auburn game as well. Like, just the end of the game just feels so crazy.
It's just chaotic.
And intense.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what, like, draws people to the NCAA tournament, because those are the moments that it's like...
There's a lot of, like, who wants it the most, and that's
it's like
exciting.
Last minute, like, 5 different crazy things happen. All of a sudden, you don't expect one team to lose, but they lose. Basically what happened to Duke last night. But it's like... I was also just watching. I'm like, damn, bro, this is like crazy sloppy basketball. And of course, the final game. I mean, I wouldn't say the game was decided on a bad foul call, but like,
ooh, yeah, that foul call was
like
that was
Cooper
not a good
jumps,
call.
He it's like by the textbook, like over the back, but like contextually in that moment when that was the play that allowed Houston to go ahead and take the lead, it was like. That's crazy. That's a no call in like a 99.9% of games, man. So
it's like for that to be a call to swing the game.
Yeah,
it's a rough look.
Yeah.
Are we on panic? Come on, Mala watch.
Yes. Okay. So this was something that I've seen a lot of the reactions. So I mean, look. So for people who didn't watch it, obviously Duke has 3. Top prospects on their team. That's one of the major reasons why they were expected to win the NCAA tournament. Quite frankly, they only lost by, 1 possession yesterday, but they should have absolutely won. They gave up like a 7-0 lead. Like they gave us a 7-0 run in the final minute, basically, between a whole bunch of errors. But I think that like number one, Cooper Flegg had a chance to hit a turnaround jumper. Basically a 10-foot jumper contested, but still missed a shot at it.
Yeah,
I mean, not bad. I mean, again, like especially considering that's the type of player that again people are touted as like the number one pick. No one's even in contention alongside of him. They're comparing him to like Larry Bird. They're comparing him to like,
Larry Bird would hit that
LeBron.
shot.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're giving him like that level of like hype and scrutiny. Of course, you want to see what he looks like with the game on the line. Unfortunately, he missed it, but it was actually like, as you mentioned, it was the right read. But of course, you can't really blame Cooper because like Cooper was the best player on the court. Like, he played a really nice game. I think there was a crazy stat that like Duke only made one field goal in the last 10 minutes of the game, and it was a corner three from Cooper. Right. So there's that aspect. But I mean, ultimately, he played a really good two-way effort. Con Knipple, who is the other I guess co-leader for Duke this season, he started the game really well. Didn't get the ball as much in the second half. Feel like that was kind of like a concerted game plan, sort of take him away from the ball. But he was certainly shooting it well, and he's just a very offensively mature player. He like plays like a senior, even though he's a freshman. He's really solid. The one guy who has drawn a lot of obviously draft consideration is Kama Malawak. We've talked about him on this show, and the big stat afterwards was just I've seen it over and over again. How are you 7-2 and you grabbed 0 rebounds? And
you got 0 rebounds?
You got 0 rebounds.
I only watched the last couple of minutes, and I basically picked up the game at the point that he picks up his 4th foul. And I just saw the stat line of 6 points, 4 fouls.
6 points, 4 fouls, 1 assist, and 1 block in the game in 21 minutes. It was also a minus 20 effort for him. And so this being the NCAA tournament and this being probably the first time people were like, all right, let me actually just clear out and fully sit down and watch it. For him to lay a stinker like that really did change a lot of like what's everyone thinking about him. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, basically it was just like a, when people like hype something and then it doesn't work out, people like knee jerk and pivot away from it. Yeah. That's not me making any excuses for his performance. I think that for me, it was just like the big.
So what you're saying is Derek Queen wouldn't.
I mean, Derek Queen wouldn't have had more than he would have had more than 6 points. I'll say that much. He's certainly way more skilled. But I think like you see in a game like this is like he doesn't have that much of an offensive game outside of lobs. Like,
and we've been saying it the whole time.
No, I'm not even trying to defend our takes. No,
exactly.
Like,
no, but just to say that like this, like that part of it is not a shock to us. Like you don't necessarily expect him to be an offensive juggernaut in any way.
Yeah. No, I mean, for sure. He's not. Like, offensively, his floor is like to be Clint Capella, maybe even less. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what you're seeing with offensive rebound, kind of lob guy, but ultimately you're not trusting the dude that much else offensively. That is probably if he doesn't develop too much else beyond this. But I think the bigger weakness for me isn't that. When we did the video earlier this week about looking at the prospects who the Raptors could potentially realistically be in the range for, the thing I said about Malawak too was just like it's pretty notable that his lower body strength isn't great. Like he gets wedged out of position a lot, and especially against a Houston team that plays small. It's like their center, quote unquote, was like 6'8" with like a 7, 6 wingspan, but it's like basically a big wing, especially at the NBA level. That's a big wing. Like that's who was playing center for them. So it's like, in those kind of games, you would hope that if you're going to have him out there and he's the biggest guy on the court by far, then he's able to use his athleticism in a way that, again, doesn't produce 0 rebounds. But I think watching the game was just like, he contested for a lot of rebounds, but he couldn't really snag it. He was doing a lot of tap outs. If you count tap outs, he probably did 6 to 8 tap outs in a game. But of course, like no one's trying to hear that when you're losing and you have 0 rebounds.
So you're saying Kamana's tapping out?
I mean, but he basically kind of like got wedged out of the way so often. At defensively, I thought he actually did fine. It wasn't like that, Houston was doing most of their damage scoring at the rim. It was mostly from 3 that I felt like they had their biggest impact. But at the same time, like if you can't control the defensive glass and Houston got a ton of offensive rebounds, then that's also kind of on him. So I think really it just shows you like the weaknesses in his game more than anything else. It didn't highlight any of the strengths. Having said that, though, he also had a pretty great first 3 games of the tournament. So it is what it is.
I think you really have to always grade a lot of the college players like as a whole, and then also really factor in the regular season itself. Like, there's how many are actually coming into the league like fully ready like that? Like,
no, I mean, outside of like Cooper, like there's a real chance that a lot of these other guys need more time. Like there's most of the guys that you see mocked in the top 10 are not any sort of kind of guarantees. Like there's going to take a couple of like ifs to break their way. And by the way, I think the other thing too, and I've seen the chat point this out because like this is pretty important. There was also like a huge, because the U.S. is crazy and like borderline fascist at this point, but it's like there was a huge like declaration right before that would have affected anybody in Malawak's situation like significantly. In that, I think
in terms of visas.
Yeah, Florida Senator like Marco Rubio actually had tweeted out that they're going to start like denying visas or even just trying to deport people of South Sudanese people. I'm not even sure what the specific reason was. Quite frankly, I'm not that tapped into that. But if you have that in the back of your mind, and for anybody who is not on sort of somewhat guaranteed status in a different country, when you have that kind of fear in the back of your mind, I'm sure that has to play a role and a factor. I'm not going to speculate as to saying that's why you didn't grab a rebound. That's not fair.
Sure,
but also at the same time, you can't ignore something like that. So
no, without question.
Yeah, that's a big factor. No, I agree. I agree with the chat. That is a really, really big factor. I'm not trying to critique this game off one game because there's no imminent things. I'm just trying to talk about the game we watched. But of course, there's also a secondary issue that took place.
There are bigger things in the world that can rightfully affect any of us in what we do day to day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, I just don't understand how do you just change that like on a whim? You know what I mean? Like,
there's
like
a
you
lot
think you're
of,
okay, but then you're not okay. Like, you think you're welcome in a country, but then you're not welcome in a country? It's kind of nuts, man.
Yeah. Well, on to the third item, and it is bleeding from the first one because I am just coming up with items on the spot now. Shout out Houston. Shout out Jamal Shead and the Houston Cougars for making the final. It seems like according to a lot of the Raptors and open gym footage, we're expecting to see BI and maybe RJ to wear some sort of bet fit. I'm guessing it's probably like Houston jerseys. I think we're looking at it maybe Wednesday for the home game, the final home game of the season.
Yes, that does seem to be the plan. Devlin said on the broadcast that he asked Jamal, what are you going to make them wear?
Sure.
Considering that obviously RJ and Brandon Ingram both went to Duke. And Jamal said, I'm going to make them wear my jersey. So
Beautiful.
I hope to see both of those two guys in that Jamal Shead outfit. But I think what was interesting, too, because you saw the open gym footage. You know, they brought together the crew and they put together about a minute and a half of footage of Jamal watching the game and sort of reacting to it. I think what was interesting was I kind of just assumed that you would have like the three of them watching it together, considering it's like the Final Four and it's like a really, really big game. And, you know, like most basketball fans were watching that. And then when the footage came out, I was like, oh, I was so excited. I clicked the footage. And it's just Jamal Shead.
It's just Jamal Shead.
With some team staffers. And all due respect to the team staffers. Like, shouts to you guys. But this is your job. Of course. And it's basically just Jamal Shead in the hotel lobby, like watching it in a room and reacting and getting really excited, which is great. Yeah. But I'm like, yo, where are RJ and Brandon Ingram in a moment like this? And I'm like, you know what? This probably is the big difference between if you're a 3 and a 4 year player. Like how many years did Jamal Shead play? I think he played 4.
Is it 4? Okay.
But like this is the big difference between, you know, one and dones and guys who you know, actually stick
one
around.
One and done's from Duke.
One and done's from Duke especially too. Yeah, Jamal played 4 years.
Sure.
At Houston, was a full-time starter for the last 3 years. Been a big part of a lot of winning for that program. And
the last time they were in the championship was with Hakeem Olajuwon in 1984.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible moment for them. Maybe I guess for Duke, it's like you do this all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
It did have me thinking, just because with a bet like that, it is a point of shame for, you know, BI or RJ to have to wear that. It just kind of echoes again, like we just don't have that culture in university basketball culture in Canada. Like, I don't know that there's a thing that you can make someone do it that way. Like, here's the question. Your alma mater is McMaster. Would you wear a McMaster basketball jersey to rep?
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. I mean, what number would you do? I'm guessing it would be like the Lou on the back, but what number would you wear?
I don't even think for U Sports, like I don't even think you get your name on the back. I think it's just the number on the back.
Okay, what number would you wear then? What's your number usually if you're playing basketball? Do you have a choice? Or do you have like one that you pick, a preference?
I've never gotten a number to play basketball, but I have picked my number to play soccer quite a few times.
Sure.
And I usually pick 4.
Okay.
That's the number my dad wore, and also it's like a pretty common center back position.
Right. Yes.
So yeah, but I mean, look, I'm clearly free to wear, you know.
Are you calling for gear right now?
No, I mean, I love wearing gear, man. You saw me wearing the U of T hat like the last couple episodes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Shout out
go
Joe
to U of
Wong.
T, but
Yeah,
shouts to all my friends at U of T.
exactly.
I think the one thing that I really like is just like, I guess Americans at all levels like really do support their sports in a way that like they don't go because it's a big deal. They make it a big deal by going.
Sure.
And so whether it's like even high school sports like Friday Night Lights, like that's like a real culture. That's a real moment that they're capturing that in that series, that you just don't have as much of in, I guess, especially in Toronto. I feel like in Toronto, especially because we feel like we're in like we're like the biggest thing in Canada, and so like this is like the thing that we try to. It's like we try to go to the best. We try to go to the biggest things or whatever. It's like it leads to like you not ultimately supporting the smaller moments. Like some of the most fun we have at basketball games in the city are like when we go see like U of T play, against TMU.
Oh, that was actually some of our favorite live basketball experiences like this season altogether. You and I went to a couple of games. I went with Alex to a few as well. It's a really good time.
Yeah, it's a really great time. Like in the summertime when they have like the pro-ams, big shouts to Ball Don't Stop, but they put on pro-ams here for the last couple of years. And obviously the headliners are like, okay, come out and you get to watch like Scotty Barnes or, Norm Powell play. And it's like, or Chris Boucher. And it's like, okay, wow, I want to come out to see those guys. But it's like being in the gym and being in that atmosphere, being in like a true basketball environment, even in high school. I mean, I rarely go to high school games.
Sure.
But, if I were to go to some of those high school games, like, I know the energy and it's like the spirit of the game is a little bit more pure. It's a little bit less commercial.
I mean, even thinking with the W and the Toronto Tempo coming around for the last couple of summers, Hoop Queens has always been a really fun tournament going on every summer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like, I would love for us to make a bigger deal of our own sports as well. I don't even know what to say really.
Yeah.
But I hope that's
just a quick question here. Jerome, what number would I wear? 15. And so it's 15. I think it's like Vince Carter.
Okay.
It's my birthday date. And a little bit of Carmelo Anthony too. I just like 15. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That means he's gonna shoot the ball.
And then on that note, I can't believe I have another NCAA men's Betway bet coming through because I just assumed Duke was going to the final and winning the championship. But the Houston Cougars are a 1.95 bet to win the men's NCAA basketball championship. Will, how do you feel about this bet? How do you feel? Will Jamal Shead be celebrating after Monday?
I think. I mean, this is weird because you typically don't let rookies do this. Like I remember when Villanova, for example, was in the finals and when they actually won, they allowed Kyle to like essentially leave the team for a day, fly down to the game and sort of watch and celebrate with the program.
That's right.
I would, especially considering the Raptors don't play until Wednesday, so they have Monday and Tuesday as off days.
Sure.
I would really hope that Jamal Shead is able to get on a plane.
That'd be so cool if he got
and cut down to San Antonio where the Final Four is, being hosted.
Hopefully, the Open Gym team get to go with him too.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
That would actually be really cool because, you gotta understand, like Jamal Shead is like. He's such a big part of that program. Like he's not going to be obviously around for he's not going to be on the team when they win the title, but like this is like if DeMar was able to fly down to the NBA Finals with the Raptors. You know what I mean? Like Jamal meant so much of that program, was such a big part of that program's turnaround. Comes to embody like what that idea of the school is. Like I mean, I guess as Raptor fans, we've seen Jamal all season, and we all love him for his defense, for his tenacity.
He is one of the most endearing rookies we've come across.
Yeah, like that's what the Houston Cougars are, though. Like there are a lot. It's like a whole bunch of Jamal Sheads, and a lot of these guys he's played a lot against too. So I would actually really hope that he's able, and the Raptors are cool enough to let him go down for a night just to go watch this sort of final take place, because that would be such a historic moment. But I think for that reason alone, I'm rooting for Houston to take it.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. Houston is a 1.95 bet. And if you're believing in Jamal Shead and his Houston Cougars, scan the QR code at the bottom of the screen.
There you go.
There we go. All right, so apparently there's 3 more packs to do.
Let's go, Jerome. What you got, man?
Well, I'll be honest. I was at the Toronto Tempo hosted NCAA Women's Final watch party, and I just came back scrambling to put things together here pre-show. But we had a contest all week. A Tangerine layup contest, and we were giving away 3 pairs of Raptors tickets to fans that submitted screenshots showing that they follow Tangerine Bank on Instagram, and giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. And as you were talking about this Brooklyn game, in the background, I was generating our 3 winners, and I thought our final 3 packs will be the naming and the sharing of the 5-star reviews of
nice.
our 3 winners.
Okay.
So up first, I'm going to just give the first name. Everyone will be that has won will be contacted by email afterward, and we will share that email with Tangerine, who will then set up to give your tickets ahead of the game on Wednesday. But first off, we have Jeff over here. Congratulations, Jeff. 5-star review titled In-Depth Raps and NBA Analysis. I discovered you from The Fan and have loved the show ever since. Just the best coverage of the Raptors available.
Wow. That's really nice. Thank you.
That's really nice. Thank you, Jeff, and congratulations. Jeff. Enjoy the game.
Go find a friend and go to Raptors Hornets on Wednesday. Go make sure you're free Wednesday.
Amazing. Up next, we have Jessica, who wins.
Oh.
5 stars, the best to ever do it, whether you're a longtime fan or just getting in to Raptors basketball. This show makes you feel like you're a part of the conversation. Great guys, great takes, great banter, great production. Press play. Congratulations, Jessica. Enjoy the game with your friend.
Congratulations.
And our final winner in the final pack, we have Eric coming in. It is Eric's favorite podcast, my favorite listen from my commute to keep me posted on the Raptors. It's both relaxing and has its funny moments. From their suggestion of one of the pod episodes, still waiting on Matt Devlin to announce, from Pacific Mall.
There you go. Well, congratulations to all 3 winners here. I hope you guys sincerely have a great time at the Raptor game. I know I kind of take it for granted sometimes. I'm like, I'm at all these Raptor games. But, like, no,
we had to talk about it all separately offline.
I'm like, oh, Raptors, Hornets? No, but no, it's always a great time at the arena. Seriously, it is. And the energy, the vibe, and especially towards the end of the season, it's like guilt-free whether they win or lose. They're probably going to play a lot of the rookies, but you're going to have a great time. And I hope for all of you who didn't get a chance to win, we will have obviously future contests, but we certainly do really appreciate it. I think it's very touching to read the feedback that people give on the show.
Whether and also that's the feedback we get in person, like when we meet people at events and stuff, it's always really great.
Yeah, when we see people in person, when I see people just out on the streets and stuff like that, like there's just a lot of love shown. And I know that this season for the Raptors has been like kind of tough. Like, I mean, pretty tough. I mean, damn, what are we doing at Raptors Nets on a Sunday afternoon? But like we do really, really appreciate it. And I think even these gestures to have you guys write reviews. I know it's like obviously for a contest, and I hope you guys don't change those to 1-star reviews because you didn't win the tickets or anything. But no, even reading those reviews and seeing the feedback and love that people share, it was really great. Huge. Like we're always just trying to build and tap into a connection with Raptor fans. I know that this is a really positive community that we have here. And we just want to be able to service it as much as possible. I know for a lot of people, they start rooting for people, even like just career-wise, they start rooting for us. You know what I mean? And I sometimes feel a little bit odd because I'm like, but you don't even necessarily know us. But then again, I realize that they probably do know us from just how much we show ourselves through the show, and we keep people company, and we really appreciate that we're able to see so much of that feedback. So apologies to people who did not win, but ultimately congrats to the 3 winners for your tickets. And again, you will be emailed. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for that. And that does bring us to the end of our 6-pack, but straight and naturally into Tangerine, our Tangerine segment. Let's talk a little bit about it. So before everything happened, you and I went to the Tangerine Layup event where we met some fans who were out there trying to win their own chance at some Raptor tickets as well. As we mentioned before, they gave away 150 tickets were available. They were also giving away various prizes. We saw hats, we saw jerseys, we saw someone with a Brandon Ingram jersey.
Oh, BI.
BI.
When are you going to come down to see BI? Hopefully Wednesday against the Charlotte Hornets.
Let's see if that happens. Yeah, but we had ourselves a good time. I actually pulled in a couple of videos just to show. So the idea of the event was with the Tangerine Layup, there were 2 nets at the event. There was one that was 3 feet high with an oversized rim. That was the easiest shot you can make. And you can take it from right in front of it. It's supposed to be an easy layup because that's how easy it is to bank with Tangerine. The other the other net was a 25-foot high, and I'm gonna put this video up over here. You can see the lower one, and then look all the way up there.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
It is the impossible shot, and that is how it is to bank with anyone else that isn't Tangerine. It's that impossible. Will, we did not get the marketing messaging early on.
Okay,
because, yeah, this is the thing. If you're going to invite Will and I to a basketball event with basketball-type challenges, the first thing that's going to come to mind, we're going to try to do it.
We're going to do it, yeah.
We're going to go for it. So we spent a good amount of time beyond, I mean, just to talk about the event itself, really great turnout. We saw the Raptors there. We saw a Northside crew. Matt Bonner pulled up.
Hey, big shouts to Matt Bonner, man.
Big shouts to Matt Bonner. Shouts to Matt Bonner.
Hey, congrats to Florida for making it to the final as well, man. Matt
there you
Bonner,
go.
obviously a former Florida Gator.
But yeah, Matt Bonner, like fans got to meet Matt Bonner. He was emceeing the event for a little bit. Our boy Akil was emceeing the event as well. It was a really good time, but admittedly, in the let's say 2.5 hours that we were there, probably 2 of them were just us standing by the impossible shot, trying to make that bucket.
Yeah. Huge shouts to all the people there from Tangerine. Tangerine has shown us a lot of love on this show. Obviously, they've been a season-long sponsor of the program. They're huge, just supporters of us, in addition to huge supporters of Raptor fans everywhere. That's why they're the official bank of the Toronto Raptors. So, like, the people there were like, we love the show. We love how, the way we're promoted. Like, everything has been great. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, we feel likewise. Like, we're really, really happy that you guys are able to sponsor the show. And then that was kind of it. So we're like, all right, so like there's like these 2 rims and everyone's just like going in for a layup and then getting a chance to spin for a prize, including tickets. And then the 2 of us, as you mentioned, we're just like, let's just try to make this 25-foot shot. Yeah. And for me, it was genuinely impossible. Like I probably missed it 20 times trying to go for it.
Right.
And I think maybe you missed your first 4, but I think from that point onwards, you might have been like 50-50. Like you made like, I would say like 10 out of 20 the rest of the way. Like
that is
good
generous.
at making this shot.
I think, I did take a lot of shots on the day. I think I'm probably closer to like a 33% accuracy on it. But it got to a point where I guess I just kind of figured out what the shot was and what it needed for it. That there were times where, much to the dismay of the messaging of it, that this is supposed to be an impossible shot.
Yeah, the idea is don't take an impossible shot with another bank, make banking as easy as a layup with Tangerine. And I agree, but we just kept trying to shoot up this 25.
We just kept on trying to shoot it.
I hope you have footage loaded up. I hope this is leading up to you showcasing.
We're gonna
footage.
Show.
Let's go.
We're gonna show thing. One time over. As you asked me to say on camera, but we never got it right there. The word impossible means I'm possible.
Let's go.
And here we go here. There it is. And there's a shot.
Oh, yeah! It's on film. Let's run it again.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
It's just that child. Oh, yeah! It's on film.
Also, you can hear Will at the end of the video say it's on film because the first time we actually managed to capture me doing it, Will forgot to actually film the ball going into the basket.
I got too excited.
So it's completely cut off. But it was...
Well, luckily you made it 9 more times, so you're good.
Yeah, there were a couple of times over where I would make it, and I may have been told, we won't share the names to protect their privacy, but I may have been told in jest, halfway serious, stop making the shot.
They're like, yo, we get it, all right?
We get it, stop making it. There were a couple of times. There was one time where we convinced a contestant to try the shot. Here's the thing also about this shot. You're not supposed to take the shot. The whole point of this whole thing is it's supposed to be so discouraging that you want to go with Tangerine Bank, the easy layup in. But I think the problem was because some people saw me make the shot, it definitely got into people's heads that they wanted to do the same. So we got some people going to shoot it. And this is the thing. If you make that shot, you win absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you actually win nothing. Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
Not a hat, not a gift pack. Nothing. Like
not a single thing. Like you're completely discouraged, and yet people wanted to do it. Shout out to that one guy. I'm so sorry. He took 3 shots, missed them. They were close. I'll give him that. And then after, he's like, man, this is impossible. And then I made it. Right
You instantly made it. Let's run it again.
Oh, you're sick.
Guys, this rim is 25 feet in the air.
Yeah! It's unfair.
There was also a moment where I think I made it twice in a row, which was also really frustrating. It was a good time.
By the way, it was really humbling. So when Matt Bonner showed up, he also saw the rim, and he was like, I was trying to make him shoot it. And it took Matt 3 tries, and he made it, and I'm like, damn.
Really easily. Also,
NBA players are different, man.
NBA players are different. Also, once again, to speak to the sicko behavior of both Will and me, almost psychically, the second Matt made the shot and the attention went away, we looked at each other, and it was like, yeah, take another shot.
But yeah, that was a really fun
as
time.
Raptors fan says, this is how we fan.
This is legit how we fan. People were out there in the rain yesterday, man.
Yeah.
Alvin Williams was out there in the rain yesterday. Apparently he slipped.
How many tries did I take? I think I made it within about 5.
I think you literally took 5 tries and you made it. So
Yeah. So
meanwhile, my shoulder is now hurting a little bit. It's also hard. It's a foam ball. The thing
it's
is, like,
a foam ball too.
You're worried about long rebounds, like literally crashing out and hitting anything.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You had to use a foam ball, and I don't know. I just didn't have that much height on my. Like I don't know, man. I'm not Derek Fisher. I'm not shooting no rainbow shot. I can't get up that high.
Well, the key is like you had to really shoot it the way you would shoot when you were like in elementary school, like that like classic kid push shot. But yeah, I don't know. Once I kind of just got the hang of it and found the right angle, the right fan angle. But no, it was a really good time. And again, like I think this whole week was really fun in doing this activation. It was great to do this contest and be able to give away tickets to fans. Yeah, you got the Stacked Market Super High Hoop Report, Coco. And then yeah, it was really cool to see the turnout. We ran into some fans at the event too. It was really great. And yeah, it was just a really fun time. A really good primer before I went to watch NCAA women's basketball and Will went to watch the Brooklyn Nets.
I've attended or watched 4 basketball games today, and Raptors Nets was the worst of those. I would rank them number 1, women's final NCAA. Number 2, Lakers OKC. Number 3, just a Tangerine fan event, and then number 4, Raptors Nets. But it's all good.
All right. Well,
speaking of Raptors Nets.
Yeah, let's get to some questions.
Let's do it.
So starting off here, obviously, we're 1 week out before the end of the Raptors season. Is that right? Yeah. So
I can't wait to do a favorite moments of the year draft. By the way,
that'll be a good time.
Yeah.
But we will continue to do some coverage. I think we're going to be selective in terms of picking NBA playoff games. We'll be checking in. We'll do some reacts. We'll do some live watch-alongs. I think we're in the works of discussing some watch parties, so definitely stay tuned for that.
Nice.
Let's go to our first question. Which team would you be open to following game to game with React Pods for the whole playoffs? Now, I don't know that we'll follow game to game, but who are early on some of the teams that you would love to follow along and watch?
Let's see. Quite frankly, I don't think there's a team in the Eastern Conference that draws that much interest.
Sure. Maybe the Knicks.
Yeah, I gotta see Brunson come back healthy first.
Yeah, I think there's like
he's gonna be back before
the end
of the year.
Any team that has like a former like Raptor, I'm like semi-interested in. Yeah.
As much as I love Pascal Siakam, am I gonna watch every Indiana Pacers playoff game because of Pascal Siakam?
Game to game,
probably
maybe not.
You know what I mean? But shouts to Pascal. I'll try to watch you as much as possible.
Yeah.
Same thing with OG with the Knicks, but again, I'm not watching every Knicks game unless it's crazy. I feel like the Western Conference playoffs, I feel like I want to watch every single game. Like, I actually like almost any permutation of how the matchups will shape out. Obviously, that includes the play-in tournament. But, like, in the East, I'm just like, I mean, it's either going to be, it's most likely going to be Boston. It'll be a huge upside, even if Cleveland comes out, even though obviously Cleveland has a better record than Boston. I just truly believe Boston is, like, a step above everyone. I also happen to dislike Boston, just like pretty much every Raptor fan. So
I think that's like the tough part. If you are a Boston
don't want to
hater,
hear
which means you're
Boston
probably a Raptor fan,
Yeah.
I don't. It would be a tough watch to watch through the Eastern Conference playoffs because you might just be watching Boston make their way to the finals.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's that element. So I basically look. I just don't think that there's that much of an interest in the East. But I mean, like if we ever wanted to do numbers, I feel like we should do like Lakers post game shows. We should do like Warriors post game shows. Those are clearly the two biggest fan bases that are
if
probably
Kawhi is healthy and going off, I would love to talk about him any chance that we get for as long as we can. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Lakers could play almost any team in the Western Conference, and it'll be kind of interesting. Actually, almost any team in any Western Conference match will be interesting. Like even if it's like Houston versus like Minnesota, I'd still watch the hell out of that. You know what I mean?
I think sneakily we're gonna have a really good NBA playoffs, definitely from the Western Conference side.
Yeah, Eastern Conference, I'm like, guys, congrats.
Exactly.
You guys exist, and you guys made it.
All right. What else do we have here? Oh, this is interesting. Would you guys ever do a Canada tour? I'm out in Manitoba. Would love a chance to see you guys if you ever did a tour.
Yeah, I think we've had this idea come up before in the past. I think, I mean, in the off season, I think there'll be certainly something we can try to look at and explore.
Sure.
It would be kind of cool. I don't know if we have that much. Do we have that much juice, Jerome?
There's really only one way to find out. I think.
What if we're in Manitoba and it's just us and late to class? I mean, it'd be chill. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do people do in Manitoba?
Well, I mean, if it's us and late to class in Manitoba, I would hope late to class would at least bring their class over to.
Yeah. Invite us to your class and come on time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. I think like we were saying through the Tangerine like fan stuff, it's really great to interact. I think we're really working to figure out a lot more ways to do live events, and we do have some in the works, so we're really excited to announce those when they come through. But yeah, I think we're just gonna see as it goes.
It'll be fun though. I mean, I think that like we could probably do one in Montreal. I feel like we've met enough fans in Montreal that I think that we could make something happen. I think we could probably do something on the West Coast, like Vancouver. A lot of fans write in from Vancouver, and they're all like, "Yo, Asians. Yeah. We need more Asians in Vancouver." They're like, what's missing in Vancouver is 3 Chinese guys. But it does lead me to ask the question, Jerome, how many provinces have you visited? Because I was looking at this, and like if we go to Manitoba for this, it'll be the first time.
It would be the first time for me too, I believe. Yeah, not many.
Because it's kind of a shame, but I've really only been to from east to west Nova Scotia, Quebec, Ontario. Obviously, we live here. Alberta,
I think it's just like Halifax and Vancouver for me.
Yeah, that's it?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you went to Montreal, so you've been to Quebec.
Well, yeah, sure, Quebec too. Yeah. Yes, right, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Honestly, I didn't mind Calgary. Calgary was kind of chill. I mean, I was only there for like 4 or 5 days, Banff and et cetera, but
we should get ourselves to the Stampede.
It's all right. No, but Canada's beautiful, man.
Canada is beautiful.
I actually do want to make it a goal of mine in my lifetime to visit every province.
Would you do something around the lines of, I mean, I know it would take quite a while on the scooter, but something of a road trip across the country?
Yeah, the scooter goes 32 kilometers per hour at most. So it would certainly take me months to get across the country. But
there you go.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. Quick check-in. Is BI ready to go?
I don't know, man. I mean, I didn't see him warm up last game when I was there. That was Raptors-Pistons on Friday. So that might just be because I didn't get there early enough. I only got there like 2 hours beforehand. Maybe he warmed up 3 hours beforehand. I don't know. But I think what they said was their goal was they're hopeful for him to be able to get into their practices and get a chance to at least like go through some content and stuff like that. The Raptors do have 2 off days, like I mentioned. So maybe they get Monday off, but maybe Tuesday they practice. And I feel like if he plays on Tuesday's practice, then maybe you have a chance to potentially, hopefully, maybe see him for like a little bit of time.
It is the final home game on Wednesday,
so final home game.
It would be really nice, but it does feel soon.
Right. And I honestly, like, I would probably put it at less than 25% that he would play, just by estimate, on Wednesday. But it does make me wonder, like, what's the incentive to sort of show him for just 1 or 2 games? Because you're not going to play him full speed. Again, you look at the quality of the competition, it's not particularly strong.
No.
And then the final 2 games are on the road. Like, they play in Dallas and then San Antonio.
I feel if he doesn't play at the home game, I don't know that he would. Like, I think the only idea would maybe be to present him in front of home fans and kind of like instill some sort of like oh, this is what's to come next season. I don't know.
Is this to sell season tickets? Is it like, hey, guess what? Sneak peek, like. Because I'm looking at it from like, what is the basketball benefit of seeing him? But I mean, obviously, I have a huge curiosity to see Brandon Ingram. I'm pretty excited about his acquisition. I'm very bullish on who he is as a player, and I think that skill set could fit really well here in Toronto.
Tell me one crossover midi bucket wouldn't just get you hyped immediately.
Hell yeah, man! You know what I mean? Like we need a guy who's a bucket, and he's clearly a bucket. But also at the same time, it's like I can't lie to myself. I've seen a lot of Brandon Ingram. Like this guy's he's like entering year 9 or year 10. Like
right.
Year 9 or year 10, that might be a little aggressive. But I mean, my point is like we've seen.
The thing is, we know who this player is.
Yeah. But it would be kind of cool. This is like I like this idea from martial arts fights. Like a Marvel end credit, BI will return. You know, like at the end of Marvel movies, they'll just show you if you sit through the credits.
Yes.
You know.
At the very end.
You do a whole pod on this, so like I'm not.
I used to do a whole pod on this. That's right. Yeah.
But that'd be kind of cool. Like he shows up like Wong. My favorite Marvel guy, an Asian guy is just Wong.
Just Wong.
What's his power again?
He's a sorcerer, so his power is like magic, I guess.
That's it? Just general sorcery?
General sorcery, yeah. But he's the supreme sorcerer, I think, or sorcerer supreme. Yeah, he's the Taco Bell fry supreme.
Good for him, man. An Asian guy in Supreme named Wong.
Yeah. No, the Asian guy is supreme is Jeremy.
Used to be Alex too, man. I've seen
used to be Alex. Alex has got some supreme. I got some supreme too. Yeah. All right. I mean, speaking of Alex, can you tell Alex we miss him despite what the chat says? I don't know what the chat has been saying about Alex, but we absolutely do miss him. I think he's on his way back tonight. He should be back pretty soon tonight, and he will be back on shows with us starting in the week. I think he already put together some scheduling, so we'll get at least one daily show in, maybe two. I think Alex misses us a lot too, so we're really excited to have him back in the mix.
There you go.
Ooh,
this is kind of fun. Hold on. Hello and welcome versus No Dunks Family Feud episode. Oh, that'd be fire.
That'd be really fun.
Who's our fourth? We need 4, right?
Jeremy. No,
oh god.
We need our 4.
You would add nothing for the trivia portion.
We would need it. Well, I mean, we could do a 3-on-3 because, like, as long I guess like JD would not then be able to be involved, but you could do Skeets, Tass, and Trey against the 3 of us. I mean, we tried to do a version of it when we visited in Atlanta where the idea was supposed to be, let me see if I can look this up quickly now. But
we did a custody of Black Dragon Roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Deathmatch, because Jerome obviously used to work on No Dunks before we stole him away.
Yeah.
We stole him away and brought him to here.
Yes, but, I was at No Dunks. That was literally the last thing I was doing before I came to Hello and Welcome. But let me get this.
We did do, so the idea back then was we did do Alex versus Tass for Raptors trivia. And
yeah, it was a basketball reference game.
We played
right?
the basketball reference game where I picked. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna, when I come out of here again, because I have the blonde hair as well. Yeah, it served like as the perfect reason. I remember because the guys had not been to Atlanta. They were asking me about it. And Alex definitely did mention in one way or another, he's like, is there a way to put you in a cage? And I was like, what do you even mean by that?
You could have put like bars in front of a screen.
We could put bars and maybe like a screen or something cage. Like that. Yeah, I think that would work.
By the way, shouts to Alex. He definitely won.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
Alex definitely beat.
That's why I got to go home
to, nice to
Toronto.
But I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Alex won 4-1. Let's say Lindsey Dunn would be a great 4th. Lindsey Dunn would be fantastic. Yeah, there are a lot of friends of the shows. Samson would be pretty great.
Sanson's would be good. I take a Shireen. Why not?
Yeah. Lots of friends of the program.
Keeks might be really good because Family Feud is based on like statistical data, and then we'd bring a ringer with like Keeks' stats. So I think
she'd be like, fun fact: 64% of people responded soap as the number one thing you would fight in a bathroom. Like,
yeah, exactly. She has to say fun fact before each time. Yeah.
Yo, how down bad will Family Feud had to be to invite 2 podcasters to fight?
It would be a rough go at that point. Yeah.
They're like, oh, here's what's next, America.
I guess when you think about it, like, because
no disrespect to No Dunks, they're big enough to be on the show.
They deserve to be on there, absolutely.
These Canadian podcasters.
I guess like what you could do, because like Family Feud, when it's not like Celebrity Family Feud, is just like families. So we can't be in the celebrity section.
Okay.
So we just like enter in as a family.
You know what? You're right. I guess random people do compete for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And we'd be the hello and welcome family.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah. All right.
What else we got question wise?
Not much. Oh, here's the last one we'll go with here. What would be your best starting 11 using only current NBA players?
Oh wow, soccer question.
I
definitely like this one.
Yeah.
I was definitely like fave.
You faved it. I was like, this is great. Okay, but some parameters around this. Like, are we, since we're doing a starting 11, are we like saying positionally, how we're gonna do it, or like should we say like what's our formation? Let's pick a formation first.
First off, this is gonna be NBA players, so
yep.
Even like a short NBA player like Chris Paul would be pretty tall for soccer.
Right.
So.
But like if we were like say like a 4-4-3 format, then maybe we can say like 4 defenders, like midfielders would be what, like wings and guards, and then 3 centers up front.
I feel like this should be a 4. Yeah, let's do 4-3-3. Let's go. Let's do 4-3-3. Everyone does 4-3-3 these days. Let's do 4-3-3. I think probably the easiest to pick are like goalkeepers. I probably basically want the quickest, longest guys.
Sure.
Who have shown an ability to, let's say, block shots. So, I guess we've never seen anybody as big as Wemby playing in net.
It seems like the guaranteed pick for a keeper, yeah.
My only concern is, part of the thing is, as a keeper, you need to get down quickly as well.
Right.
So, like, if you're trying to dive to the corner, like, if it takes you forever to, like, fall down because you're so tall, like, I might try to compromise to take Giannis instead.
Okay.
Just because, like, he looks to be, like, a better
in that way,
right
like,
now.
it's almost, like, would you, just because Giannis is also a big dude, like, would you go with something like a Luguentz Dort?
Lou Dort is a great pick. I probably pick Lou Dort as like a midfielder. I feel like somebody like a defensive midfielder, like somebody who's just gonna like disrupt play, steal the ball from people.
Sure.
He also has that size to jostle with people in the midfield, so I probably put him in the midfield. I feel like center back's probably not that hard to do because there's plenty of center backs who are like 6'4", 6'5".
Sure.
There's even like 6'7", 6'8" center backs
I think you don't need to do like the height comps. I think we can just remove that element of it. But just like talk by way of position. So starting off, we're going to agree that Giannis is our keeper or Wemby. Who do you want to take?
I'm going to go with Giannis as
Giannis
my keeper.
is our keeper.
Maybe I'll go with Wemby as like my Peter Crouch style of striker, just like super tall giraffe man in the middle.
Okay.
A lot of goals. Shouts to Peter Crouch.
Okay.
I will go with Chris Paul in the midfield as well. I guess I'll play a holding 2 with him and Lou Dort. Sorry, I'm too into soccer to like not
no, this is great. No, I love this.
Chris Paul is like your classic midfielder, like dictates the tempo of the play, touches the ball the most, able to play in tight spaces, able to draw fouls. Somebody who's great at flopping. I feel like that's like Chris Paul for me. I'm seeing like
that's true. We
Alexis
need some
McAllister immediately.
We need generational floppers if we're playing soccer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think for the wingers, I want guys who are quick and change ends of the court really fast. So I'll go with Pascal Siakam as one of them. Pascal, for me, like the enduring Pascal play is him, getting a long pass from Kyle Lowry and him just breaking away in transition. I also know Pascal actually does play soccer and does actually have some soccer skills. So I'll put Pascal on the left wing, and then I will put somebody really quick on the right wing who maybe like somebody who like nobody can stand in front of. Maybe like a LaMelo, actually.
Okay.
One of those wingers that's able to dribble, do a couple crossovers.
Okay.
Create something out of nothing. Not really defend, because quite frankly, that's probably the least demanding defensive position, or probably one of the front 3. So I'll go with LaMelo on the right wing. I need 2 center backs, so 2 guys who are tall and big defenders, who also have agility. But give me like a Bam Adebayo and like a Draymond Green.
Oh, Draymond, I think would be like Draymond just seems like tactically it makes sense in a center back kind of way.
Draymond is like a Sergio Ramos for people.
He's like the Warriors' of center back right now.
Yeah, and honestly, like you need one of the center backs to be a little crazy. I feel like there's a lot of classic examples of like a slightly crazy center back, and like we'll do a little bit too much or go a little bit extra mile. Like Antonio
that doesn't
Rudiger's
sound like Draymond at all.
Yeah, Draymond. The biggest issue with Draymond is he'll take like 5 red cards a season,
Sure.
but he'll make up for it with just straight passion. I guess like the wingers, you would need some like pretty good passers and somebody with great stamina to go up and down the court.
Okay.
But also play defense. So I'm not really sure.
I feel like that's where you could have actually placed Giannis.
Okay, I don't mind. Yeah, let's get Giannis as like a workhorse, just like running up and down the floor,
Sure.
playing offense, playing defense, two-way player. I like that idea.
That you have. I guess we'll put Wemby in the keeper spot then.
Wemby.
Wemby's already up front, right?
Yeah, Wemby. Yeah, I don't even like Wemby up front. My go-to striker was gonna be Jokic. I just feel like he would have been good at almost any other sport.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like he's just got like the dexterity and touch.
Right.
Yeah. Like Luka, I was thinking Luka as like my attacking, I guess my number 10.
Okay.
You know, center of the pitch, makes the most plays, can shoot from distance. I was basically thinking between Luka or like Steph.
Okay.
Luka being European, I'm going to give him the edge because he's definitely played soccer.
I do like that you have them. I guess like you actually are having them play soccer, where I'm thinking of them as some sort of like tactical basketball 11. This is like a very convoluted thing here. Yeah.
And then I guess you should have LeBron like at some point, right? Like,
LeBron should just be there, right?
LeBron should be there. Like, let me see which other crazy athlete should be in a game like this. Like, Shea would be kind of cool, very slithery. Cool. I feel like he'd be a winger or two. Maybe I'll take LaMelo off and put Shea on as like a right winger. He'd be great. And Beat's great at flopping, so he could play anywhere. Jalen Brunson's great at flopping. He can play anywhere.
James Harden.
Oh my God! James Harden's too lazy to come back, man. I'm not gonna pick James Harden. I need my players to play two-way. I play watching too many Liverpool.
I don't know.
games.
I just like. I guess we were looking for prime James Harden, like drawing every foul possible.
Oh, you know what? Give me Ja on the as my left, my right wing back. Yeah, I want to see Ja just fly up and down. This would be fun.
How about AE then?
Oh my God, yeah, Ant would be a little too confident. Ant should play as a striker because he's one of those guys that's just going to shoot every single time.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be like a Zlatan figure in soccer.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess, like, since we removed, like, do you feel comfortable putting, like, AD in the keeper spot?
AD could be my keeper. He could be my backup keeper because he'll be injured half the time. But I'm actually okay with this. So,
he might be less susceptible to injury just being in the keeper spot.
Yeah, this is pretty fun. I like this. So, we have left wing Pascal. We have your striker or your center forward is Jokic. He connects the play as well. I like him as like a Harry Kane style of like striker. You know, he's not only taking shots, he's also passing and distributing.
Love it.
Who else do we have as wingers here? Who do we have?
SGA. Shea in the mix. Yeah.
SGA. Yeah. We have your midfield of.
Are you writing this out right now?
Yeah, Chris Paul, CP3.
Do you want to share that screen? We can see if we can, like, as you're typing it through.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on. Where should I? Well, how can I share this then?
Just present. Present window.
No, but where should I write this? On a Google Doc?
Oh, true. Okay, don't worry. You're good. Just keep going.
No, this is fine. Hold on. Let me just. This is stupid, man. I'm just telling you, this is a little dumb. It's okay.
The Google Sheets might make sense because then you can actually put them in like cells.
Oh, you really want me to open Google Sheets again after what happened last time I did this? It made the worst chart of all time. Hold on, let me present.
What worst chart of all time?
Hold on, let me present.
While Will's loading this up, we can all take a look at, once again, the Raptors 2025 first round draft pick odds. As you can clearly tell, based on the data here, the largest piece of the pie is the number 8 spot at 34.1%, which is what the Raptors are most likely going to get. And I don't know that there is a chart that has been clearer than this that has not given me an epileptic attack.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I guess, what is keeper short for? Like, let's just goalie? Yeah, let's just put G.
Yeah, right. GK, yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's share this now.
Are we sharing?
Let's go. People watch this. It's crazy. But I love you guys, seriously.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
Okay, here we go. It's legit the last. It's
jump scare.
It's legit the last one I have. Okay, I'll just make these two cells like super big. I guess maybe
Sure.
that'll help. Wow, this
Increase
is
the font size?
worst Google sheet of all time.
There we go.
Okay. Goodness.
You make this a pie graph afterwards.
Let's chart this afterwards.
Let's chart this
That's a
afterwards.
great idea. Okay, for my forward, I'm gonna have Jokic. Why is the font so small? Okay, hold on.
Okay, there you go.
Let's make the font 20 for this one. Okay.
Sick.
All right. Nikola Jokic.
Nice.
Left wing, I had Pascal Siakam.
Mm-hmm.
With
Right
a little
wing,
bit of
Shea,
height as well.
SGA.
Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. This is just his name's too long. Okay, there we go. I guess we have Giannis later on, so that's fine.
Sure.
Midfielders, I had Lou Dort. So a lot of OKC representation on this one. Not Paul George. Chris Paul.
Yeah.
And then I had Luka Doncic.
Okay. Nice.
That's my 10. These are, I guess, let's put the positionally. A false 9.
Oh my goodness.
Just classic wingers. This is my number
Everyone's
10.
getting to know
This
that
is my 6.
Will's favorite sport is actually soccer.
I have a double pivot with 2 6s and a 10. That's fine. Left back. Let's see. Left back. Who did I have for left back again?
I know center back was Draymond.
Oh yeah. Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you have just like Noah LB should be LeBron?
LB should be LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, but LeBron doesn't even come back anymore. No. I need somebody quick.
Okay.
Somebody who changes ends of the court really. How do I get this to a second line? I guess I can't. I'll just put Sergio Ramos.
Oh, there's a rap. I think you can make it
understand.
like rap. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Sergio Ramos.
The other center back I had was Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson. We have right back. Oh, I had John Morant.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Just plays for Arsenal. Gunnar. And I guess my goalie was Giannis.
I think you were. Well, we were saying that Giannis could also serve as a left back. Like.
Right. That's what it was. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go.
There you go.
Boom.
And then we have to pick a new keeper.
Yeah, the new keeper. I guess I was Wemby, but no. But
it could be.
I don't know.
You also had Wemby up front too at one point.
Man.
Just choose Wemby.
No, but like a tall goalie. You know what? Yeah. You know what? Let's just be experimental. Let's say. There we go. Boom.
There you go. Because like keepers are the tallest on their team, and Victor Wembanyama would be the tallest on this team.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
All right. There we go.
All right. So now, if you can turn that into a pie chart. No, I'm kidding.
Let's see what happens if we graph this. Hold on.
Oh God.
Goodness, man. Act series visualizing your data. Yeah. Okay.
This is another precious Toronto.
Let me know if you agree with my NBA starting 11 for soccer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is fun. I hope you guys.
Did you create it?
No. There's just it's not gonna graph. What's it gonna graph it as?
I don't know.
It's so confusing.
Yeah, we're playing with a 4-3-3 formation.
We are playing with a 4-3-3.
Yes.
I feel like, by the way, most NBA players would not be good at soccer.
Sure.
You know, that's just my honest opinion. Like it's a totally different skill set for what you might need. But certain guys I'm confident in playing any sport. Like I feel like Shea probably could play most sports.
Right.
Jokic could certainly play a lot of sports, and Chris Paul, I think, for me, would be certainly somebody who can play lots of sports. But yeah, fun times, man.
That was fun. Let's get to our awards.
Let's do it. Your awards, your 3 stars from tonight's performance. Raptors win tonight 120 to 109. Right, that's right. Your first star is Jonathan Mogbo, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Really happy for Jonathan. Again, I noticed him finishing a lot with the left hand today. I don't know what that was in particular, because I haven't really seen that for most of the season, but certainly had some success with that, shooting 8 and 9 from the field. Jonathan's first career double-double. Happy for him that he was able to finish strong here. Your second star, I'm going to give that to I'll give it to Jamal Shead, man. How many stars have I given Jamal Shead on the season, man? He might be like a top 3 contender for how many stars I've given him. But 9 points, 12 assists, 3 steals. I don't think it's undeniable that he's a plus 31 in a game that but no one else even comes remotely close to that type of number. He had a huge impact running the offense, and congrats to his Houston Cougars once again. And then your third star, I mean, let's give it a Cole Swider. Congrats to Cole Swider for getting the contract extended for the last week of the season here. Hopefully he's getting a chance to showcase what he has. The Raptors have certainly spoken really highly of him in a way that I haven't seen them necessarily say about the other 10-day guys. So that may mean that the Raptors will invite him out to Summer League and get him a chance to compete in training camp. If so, I think that would be a great chance for Cole, who I think he has done well at the G League level, but hasn't necessarily made the jump to the NBA level. He's gotten a look with training camp. I think last year he was with Indiana, and then the year before that he was Miami. So get another shot at it, but certainly a guy who can shoot. Looks really calm tonight. 4 of 6 from 3 for Cole with 8 rebounds. Cole World is in effect. Your Gerald Henderson Award winner. I mean, take your pick. Because somehow the Brooklyn Nets finished with 5 players who had exactly 13 points. They also had somebody finish with 11 and somebody finish with 14. Just the most balanced across the board scoring effort that you've ever seen from these guys. For me, I'd probably go with Maxwell Lewis. If to me it looked kind of interesting. He had some size. Quite frankly, the Lakers have actually drafted quite well recently. The guys the Lakers have drafted, even the guys that they moved off of, like Max Christie, for example. I think even he's done pretty well, right? For Dallas before. I don't know. Is he playing again? I don't know. I've tapped out of Dallas because there's no reason to tap into Dallas these days. But yeah, like the Lakers actually done a pretty decent job drafting, and that's another guy that they took. So he looked all right tonight. Looks like 6'6", 6'7", longer athlete. Was able to get to the rim a couple of times and hit a couple jumpers. So good for Maxwell Lewis. That's pretty much everyone's interest in Maxwell Lewis. Hit in a maximum. So that's 13 and 4 for Maxwell. That does it for the React Pod as well. We will be back, obviously, for the last week of the season. We're going to finish strong. Hopefully,
Alex will be back.
Tunes in. Alex Wong will be back, and
our Wong will return.
Our Alex Wong will be back. I don't know. The only thing Alex sent me in the last week was just like, look.
Didn't you see he posted to his Instagram story his summary of the trip?
Oh, he did? Wait, hold on. Let's present that. Hold on. Come on, man. Can't leave our boy out of this.
Sure. Let's see how we could pull this off.
Hold on. Oh, there's him back. Okay. He went to a Canadians game. He went to a deli. He went to Snowden. Okay, so he went to the next biggest one because he went to Schwartz's last time. Best bar in the city, sports bar, Bruno's Sports Bar. Was watching Wesley Chang. Oh, big shouts to Wesley, man. Big shouts to Wesley over at TSN. He used to literally be one of our interns, and now he's in San Antonio covering the Final Four. Super blessed to see his
Here, let's
rise
see if this works. Can you see my screen right now?
I can see your screen, yes.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go. There he is.
Okay.
Packing his way to go.
Yep.
Up next, he went to his first PWHL game.
Oh, that's a PWHL game. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because, I didn't think he would actually be out there watching the Canadiens.
The Victoire are his favorite team now.
Okay.
No love to the Scepters.
Hey, by the way, shouts to Alex, man. These are good seats right behind the penalty box.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Alex, I see
He went to Snowden Deli, had himself some Montreal
Deli.
smoked meat.
Yeah, that's the other one that's like alongside of.
He went to Bruno's Sport Bar, the best sports bar in the world.
Sure.
Shout out Wesley Chang. Yeah.
Hey, shouts to Wes, man.
Yeah, shout out to Wes.
Pikachu guy.
He went to Slough Climatisé.
Yeah. Okay. A little vintage shopping. Went bidding.
No shopping. Yeah.
Probably bought some records.
95 King of the Ring VHS tape he found. I don't know if he purchased it.
Okay.
He got himself some.
Wow, Alex got himself some Indian food?
Yeah.
Nice. Without
Look at
Levesque? How could he? No V and no face.
Oh, he visited East Studio Nixon. Really great clothing store.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Alex shopping. Yeah,
a lot of his new clothing items right now are from there. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Went to Fairmount Bagel.
Of course. Shouts to Fairmount.
Larry's. The last time we were at Larry's.
Yeah, Larry's is great for like brunch and stuff like that. I mean, we know this guy's on the Mile End, bro. Like, this is the most predictable thing in the world.
Yeah.
This guy's on Saint Laurent having Larry's. Come on, dog.
The last time we were there was during preseason, and we thought we had more time to have our meal, and we were there pitching and writing out our Matt Devlin intro nicknames.
Nice.
And then found out that you were actually on the way to the studio. We rushed to get out of there. And then you texted us and let us know, hey, might stay with Matt to have a coffee together. We're like, no, you're coming to the studio.
Yeah, me and Matt had a great coffee in the Old Port. So, or not the Old Port, but the Old City. Yeah. Shouts to Matt Devlin, man.
Ooh, this looks really good. Classic orange julep.
Julep.
That's Alex's one of his favorite spots. He asked us to go with him for his birthday.
That was his birthday wish for his 40th birthday was to have some dinner with friends, which we did, then go to a ball run, which we also did, and then
And his final piece here, he went to the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts, and I'm guessing that is an alternate universe version of the Hello and Welcome podcast.
Oh, okay. Wow. Why are we at war or something? That looks like me playing Sniper Elite. That's
oh, there's actually one more clip here. Nothing's impossible.
Yeah! It's on film. That's Kim Possible, and he's not even Korean.
All right. Now we can call it here.
Yeah, thanks
everyone for watching.
We'll have a fun last week of the season, and obviously we'll look back on the year.
We have one more thing actually we need to do. You talk through it while I set it up.
Okay, yeah. I don't even know what it is. I hope it's not the Jay-Z lady, please.
No, don't worry. It's not the Jay-Z lady.
We noticed, by the way, we have stopped playing the Jay-Z lady as soon as Alex left. We're all looking for the person who did this.
Well, here's the request that we were reminded of. Where is that? Where's our daily spin? Let's do a tankathon before we close the show.
Oh, yes, that's right. We are introducing a new segment where we close every episode by spinning the tankathon simulation standing. So as we know, the Raptors have the 7th best odds heading into the 2025 NBA lottery, which will take place on May 12th later in the year.
So last time we were number 4.
We had number 4.
And as you see the listing here, we're listed now as 7. Will, what do you think we're going to get this time?
I'm feeling pretty good today. Pretty good today. So I'm gonna say that we jump into the top 4 again, and this time we get 3rd.
All right. Let's get ready to sim it.
No,
we stayed at 7.
Nobody jumped except for Philadelphia.
No.
I guess. Philadelphia
just Philadelphia jumped up one spot.
Oh, that's kind of boring. All right, top 7. You guys like Kamal Malawak, man? Let's get it.
There you go.
No, people falling off Kamal after one game was killing me. I'm like, all right,
it's
guys.
really great.
I'm not like dying to get him, but also at the same time, I'm like, guys, we just watched one game. It was pretty big, but yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right, we got 4 number 7 right now, so we can't get excited, man. It's gonna be crazy when we get number 1.
It's gonna be nuts when we get Cooper Flag. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can't believe we used to root for championships, and now we're live simulating tankathon. God damn it! How far have we fallen?
Just one more week, Will. Just one more week.
How far have we fallen, man? We showed Alex Wong's IG stories at tankathon.com. God damn. All right, thanks everyone for listening. It's been a Hello Welcome podcast presented by Betway. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Congrats to our ticket winners. You will be notified, obviously, in your email. But, of course, if you heard this live, congratulations to the 3 of you. Apologies to everyone else who sent in submissions. But, we appreciate you so much. And it was really great to read all those reviews. It truly was heartwarming. And, that's it. So thanks everyone for listening. It's been a Hello Welcome podcast presented by Betway. And we will catch you later next week.